September is right around the corner, meaning a new iOS release is upon us. And this year, it's lucky iOS 13? So, today, we're going to talk about some of the features that you might feel fortunate to finally have. One of the highlights doesn't have to do with light at all, but rather darkness. That's right, iOS is finally getting a true dark mode, not just an option to invert the colors. Seeing as the iOS interface has traditionally been very bright, and, therefore, hard on both your eyes and your battery since iOS 7, it's certainly a welcome change for night owls or anyone else that doesn't want their phone screen constantly overstimulating them. Another way overdue feature is going to be a new volume display. If you're an Android user, or even just use Windows, you know that when you adjust the volume, it shows up as a little unobtrusive slider on the edge of the screen. Apple, however, has for years put a large square directly in the middle of the screen. And I'm amazed that it's taken a company obsessed with design this long to figure it out. But better late than never, I suppose. Continuing with the things Android already has theme, a huge upgrade to Apple Maps is coming in the form of Apple's own Street View competitor, called Look Around. The main appeal is supposed to be a smoother, better-looking experience than Street View, specifically with less clunkiness when moving your view down the street. Apple expects to have all of the US photographed for Look Around by the end of 2019, with some availability in other parts of the world by the end of the year as well. Apple is also finally going to give iOS users a swipe-to-type keyboard by default. It's called QuickPath, and it'll be similar to SwiftKey, which is an application that allows a user to type simply by dragging a finger across the keyboard to the desired letters. The system will make educated guesses as to what the correct word is to account for small errors, so no more continually mashing your fingers against the screen if that's not your style. Moving on, it sounds like Apple will be including a super handy sleep mode called Bedtime, which will mute notifications, darken the lock screen, and enable Do Not Disturb. Very useful unless you're the type of person that thinks every notification might be so exciting you don't mind being jarred awake. There are also a number of new emojis to get excited about. So now if you want to express your hunger with a waffle and butter, your skydiving plans with a parachute, or how much you need a shower with a skunk, you can do that to your heart's content. The full suite won't be available at launch, but it's expected to be included in an iOS 13 update later this year. On the subject of emoji, you'll now be able to create custom Memoji, which are animated representations of yourself that can be used as stickers, without the depth camera from the iPhone X or XS. Any iDevice with an A9 processor or better should work, which is great news for anyone with an iPhone 6s and later. If you have a newer device that already supported Memoji, at least you won't have to activate the camera every time you want to insert one into a conversation. The iPad will be getting a few welcome new features too. We did a full overview with the developer preview over on Linus Tech Tips, but in short, you'll be able to see 2 app windows at once, which will be especially useful for web browsing. New gestures will make it easier to undo inputs on the iPad Virtual Keyboard. The iPad will get better at automatically displaying the full desktop version of websites, as mobile sites don't really make sense on an iPad display that's as big as a laptop screen. And of course, mouse support has finally been added in the form of an accessibility feature for folks who struggle to operate the touchscreen. But it's also pretty good for our teleprompters because we can actually use them. So are there any features coming up in iOS 13 that you're particularly excited about? Comment down below, and if you're an Android fan, please show a little restraint in the inevitable flame war that's going to break out. Becoming great at math, science, and computer science doesn't have to be dull. Brilliant is a problem-solving website and app with a hands-on approach with over 50 interactive courses. And these courses have storytelling, code writing, interactive challenges, and problems to solve. With Brilliant, you'll unravel concepts bit by bit and build up to an interesting conclusion and discover deep truths in unexpected places. For example, check out their new Geometry Fundamentals course, which will introduce you to angle axioms, perimeter and area calculation strategies, coordinate geometry, 3D geometry, and more to help you get an intuitive understanding of real-world geometry applications. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, dislike, or check out our other videos. Comment with video suggestions down below, and don't forget to subscribe and follow for more Tech Wiki.